Hello there! I haven't done one of these for a while, so I thought I would share with you some thoughts I've been having recently, specifically about the news and how we consume the news, how you read it or watch it. On the one hand, I would caution people not to ignore the news. It's important, especially as Christians, that we are aware of what's going on around us, especially in the local news, so that we know what our neighbors are hearing, what they're thinking, even what they're fearing. That's important. But at the same time, I would say be careful not to obsess over the news. I know that you can easily sit down in front of the television and minutes turn into hours, and then all of a sudden your evening's gone. That can happen with sitcoms or anything else that you're watching on movies, but it can also happen with the news. Thirdly, I would caution people to limit their intake of cable news. I'm talking about the big names recently, CNN, Fox News, and by recently, just like the past decade, it's just been more and more they have played on our emotions and instead of feeding our intellect. And you can just feel that happening as you watch and as you listen to what the storylines that they give us. And not only that, but they really present a small worldview. So you have the backdrop, of the American flags everywhere, and you have the same three storylines night after night. You have the same maybe 15 or 20 talking heads talking about the same things, and you can begin to think that everybody in the world is only concerned about these things, or that our world is a pretty small place. And it's really all very self-centered, actually. Instead, why don't you think about doing this this weekend or next week? Try to redeem some of your news watching habits. What I mean by that, use your news reading or watching time as a time of prayer. And I would recommend going to one of the sites that procures news widely from around the world, like the Associated Press or Reuters. Reuters is one of my favorites, Reuters. On Reuters this morning, I was just scrolling through their Twitter feed, and several things led me to prayer. I read an article about the Harry S. Truman, the aircraft carrier that's sitting there off the coast of Virginia, and even though they've already been on a long deployment, they can't come home. They can't pull into port because they are considered a, quote, clean ship. And so to maintain force readiness, they are requiring that they just float out there, so close to their families, yet so far away. And so that led me into prayer for all our service members and their families and what they're going through during these times. And then right after that, I watched just a quick video about a gentleman in Tunisia who makes his living pulling recyclables out of the garbage. And I thought, man, as bad as this is for the U.S. and for what we're going through, think of the developing world and so many people living hand to mouth there, and what this economic shutdown means to them. That led me in prayer. And then I went to I saw another video that was uplifting. The Syrian National Orchestra posted a piece that they performed online. So 40 or so little squares across the screen and the conductor in the middle. And that led me to thank God for the beauty of music and gifts like that. But it also reminded me of all the other problems that exist in Syria and all the refugee crisis and the problems in the Middle East. And it made me realize, gosh, how long has it been since I've prayed for peace in the Middle East? And so I was able to do that. And then lastly, I almost didn't click on it because I thought it was silly, and maybe it is, but there was a little 1-minute video of some beaver in a zoo in Oregon collecting twigs from around the zoo's campus and taking them back to its nest. And like I said, it's silly, but at the same time, it reminded me that, no matter what we're going through or the stresses that I'm feeling, God's creation is just doing what it's always done. The world keeps turning round and round. The heavens keep declaring the glories of God. And so that puts things in perspective. And now, if just 20 minutes or so, whatever I spent during this prayer time, I've sort of recentered myself. I've given myself a big picture of the world, a big picture of God, and I've praised him, I've given him thanks, I've also brought concerns before him, and now I'm ready to go and deal with what he has for me during the day. So that's just an example of how you might redeem your news watching habits. You make it your own and go to your own sources, and I'm sure you'll have a rewarding experience. And I'll be praying for you, and please do pray for me as well. Keep in touch with us. We will have news shortly about whatever the governor says today and what that means for potential reopening days, reopening the church to the public. It's not going to be this Sunday, so but we'll see when it might be. So you'll hear word from us very soon, okay? Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.